Hello again. This is Emily with Protecting Our Watersheds. So we're excited to see what happened from our last activity. So in our last lesson, we were talking about weathering on rocks and landscapes. And we started an experiment, taking some water and freezing it and seeing how that changed, and then thinking about how that change might affect rocks and landscapes. If you haven't already, go ahead and check on your cup of water and come back to this video when you're ready. I'm gonna go get mine. Okay, so I've gotten my cup out of the freezer and it's a little bit frosty. I'm just gonna wipe it off so it's easier to see. So what I'm observing right now is where my rubber band was, right? If you look really closely, the water is actually above where that rubber band line was. So what does that mean? What's happening here? So what's actually happening is as the water freezes, it changes structure and it actually expands. So as it freezes, even though our water line started out here, it's taking up more space when it's in its frozen form and rather than when it's in its liquid form. So that's why it's taking up more space in this cup. Pretty cool, right? How do you think this would affect weathering on rocks? So if you can imagine water getting stuck between rocks and then freezing, what's going to happen to those rocks? Remember, we had our other activity where I took a completely sealed off full glass of water or a full bottle of water, and we're going to see what happened to that. So I'm going to go look at that right now. What do you guys think is going to happen? Let's go find out. Okay, so we are at the freezer right now. We're going to go ahead and open it up and see what happened to our glass bottle. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna rip this open so that it's easier for us to see, okay? But do you guys notice it actually cracked the bottle? I don't know if you can see this up close. Let's see. So as that water was freezing, it expanded so much that it had nowhere else to go, but it was strong enough to crack that bottle. And then water started to seep out, and that's why you can see water froze in the bag as well. So that was why we wanted to make sure we put this in a bag so that all that water didn't go everywhere in the freezer, but also to make sure we catch all of that glass as it broke. But how cool is that? So water is such a strong force that it can actually weather different things. Look at how cool that is. The water actually managed to crack that bottle of glass. That is crazy. Imagine how this water would react if it was in between rocks and then it froze. You could imagine that the rocks would be like the glass here and they would crack. Well, I hope you guys had fun with this activity. I had a lot of fun too. And now let's go talk about erosion.